Hello, I'm Rob, and coming up on RB&D Reviews, I'm one of the very few reviewers on YouTube to be reviewing the Mexican historical drama For Greater Glory. I'll have my review for you coming right up. Out RB&D Reviews, and like I said, I'm going to be reviewing the movie For Greater Glory. It's a dramatization of a forgotten piece of Mexican history about the Cristeros War that happened in the late 1920s. This movie hasn't been doing very well at the box office, and it's the movie itself, I actually haven't heard about these events before. A couple of months ago, I did read these magazine article that has pictures as well as an essay about the events, so I'm kind of familiar with it now. But the story is that the late 1920s, the Mexican government believed that religion was threatening the country, so they created these persecutory laws where Catholics and priests weren't allowed to celebrate Mass and be open about their faith. And oftentimes federales would shoot priests and devout Catholics, and an army of fighters called the Cristeros began an uprising. And so that's basically what this movie is about. The movie For Greater Glory, I thought, had very nice photography, and I really liked the locations that were used for the movie. The characters in this movie are people that really take their faith seriously, and I think they're people that you can root for. And the acting was, for the most part, okay. One of the cast members is Peter O'Toole, a great underrated actor who plays one of the persecuted priests. But for me, he kind of seemed a little bit off in this movie. I think the only person that really gave a great performance in this movie was Andy Garcia. He plays a former general who misses running an army during the wars. He's now running a soap factory. But when one of the Cristeros comes to him and asks him to lead their army against the government, he agrees to do it. His character is an atheist, but his wife is a devout Catholic, and he believes that everybody should have the right to practice their freedom and to practice their religious beliefs, so that's why he goes off and does this. And he's an interesting character because he does ask why God lets evil things happen, and what's the point of a confession? Isn't that something between you and God? You shouldn't have to do this through a priest. And oftentimes his character, when he does rousing, I don't know, maybe I missed something, but when his character does rousing speeches to his army, he talks about God like he believes in him, and that kind of threw me off a little bit. But he's a very interesting character, and Garcia was really good in that performance. The dialogue here can be a little bit heavy-handed, and I thought the beginning of the movie was a little bit cluttered. I mean, I know there's a lot of stories that happened in this event, and I know the filmmakers really wanted to tell all of it, but the problem is it was so unfocused and cluttered, and you really couldn't latch onto any of the characters except, of course, for the Garcia character, because there were so many characters, there was nobody you could really get to know very well. In the second hour of the movie, when everybody starts to come together, that's when the movie became a little bit more focused. But the beginning of the movie, there was just so much going on, and there was so much to tell, it felt kind of rushed. And I think the movie runs at 143 minutes. For me, it was just a little bit too long, and there were a few eye-rolling moments, like there is a young boy who wants to go fight with the Cristeros, and his parents surprisingly go let him do it. I mean, if I was one of his parents, I would have been like, what? No, you can't go. This is crazy. You'll get hurt. You might get killed, but they let him do it anyway. I think this movie is going to appeal more to people that believes that religion is, their freedom of religion is being threatened. And I think that the filmmakers and the movie's heart is in the right place. I believe this was an event that needed to be told, but I know this is a project that the producer had wanted to tell for a very long time, and I think it had potential, its heart was in the right place, but I think if this movie isn't going to appeal to a wider audience. I think if the movie focused more on the theme of persecution, because there's a lot of persecution going on in the world, perhaps it would have found a bigger audience. But I believe this movie, the events of this movie, is something that needed to be told. I believe its heart was in the right place, but overall I felt like this movie just wasn't good enough that it should have been. I'm going to give For Greater Glory a rented on DVD rating. Feel free to leave any comments about this movie or check out the other reviews that we have on the channel. And thank you very much for watching.